Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here for my second unofficial 2023 NFL mock draft. Again, I like to call them unofficial because the draft order is not set yet. You can't hold anything against me, at least at this point, and you really shouldn't through at least March, but I know some of you will keep track of these and do so anyway. And now that the season is ending, you're gonna start to see these be more frequent. The next one you'll see will probably be, I might even do one next week, but at least 2 weeks from now, then probably every 2 weeks or after every sort of significant draft event, whether it be a combine or a big pro day, adjusting things as we go along, depending on how stock continues to move, ebb, and flow. I mean, this mock doesn't even look that dissimilar to the last mock draft I made 3 weeks ago. I mean, there's been some things that have changed, maybe a couple players that stayed that we didn't think so, but not really in the first round. I mean, even one that's like a kind of first round pick in Kayshon Boutte or Boutte from LSU. Turns out he's ended up now staying in college, but he may be involved in a sex scandal or party or whatever is going on. Very interesting what's going on down in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Maybe I need to go back. But with that said, let's go ahead and look at my second 2023 unofficial NFL mock draft. And let's also go ahead, and we haven't done this in a while on this channel, but let's go ahead and get the music popping to second 2023 NFL mock draft. So we begin where we still have Bryce Young out of Alabama going number 1 overall. Now, people, I have to admit, I was quite impressed with CJ Stroud. You'll remember in my last mock draft, I said, you know what? I'm not sure how convinced I'm going to be about CJ Stroud right now. He looked very good against Georgia in the college football playoff. And now I think he still could go number 1. And a lot of people were mocking him number 1 throughout the season until about midway, maybe until October into November. So he certainly still could. It just depends really where the draft winds flow. But look, although he looked great in that college football playoff game, Bryce Young looked great against Kansas State himself. Now, one game mattered a hell of a lot more than the other, but he literally was unstoppable. Like, he was obviously the best player on the field outside of maybe Will Anderson. He completely dominated. He made incredible throws. Both of these quarterbacks made incredible throws. But the one thing about Young, he makes more difficult throws, more windows. I'm like, how did he fit that in? How did he see that? Wow. Whereas CJ Stroud, sometimes you watch him and you wonder, man, is he really throwing to these very talented wide receivers? Who is really, to deserve the credit here, the bulk of the credit, the great wide receivers you're talking about? You didn't have him this season, but the season past, Jackson Smith and Jigba. But during the game, you saw Robert Harrison Jr. did, not only during this game, but throughout the entire season. Ibuka, who's been great for them this entire season as well. You had Chris Olave last season. I mean, oh my God, that's 4 first-round wide receivers I just named. I literally just named 4 first-round wide receivers either now or in the future. So it's just crazy the amount of talent that he's had. Young has had John Mechie. So, I mean, it's just not really the same conversation right now. Oh, well, yeah, Jameson Williams as well. So, right now I have to go Young over Stroud, but that may not be the case in the future, but for right now, that's where I'm going. I still have the Bears taking Will Anderson. Now, interesting what's going to happen this week to see whether or not the Bears win, and if the Texans end up winning whether or not the Bears lose and the Texans end up winning, because then you're talking about the Bears getting the number 1 pick. And they're not going to do this. If I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm taking Bryce Young with the number 1 overall pick, and I'm trading Justin Fields. I'm doing it 100%. If I'm the Chicago Bears and I'm sitting at number 1, or even if, let's say number 1, they don't take Bryce Young, I'm taking Bryce Young and I'm moving on from Justin Fields. Look, he's had a historic year running the football. I think second only to Lamar Jackson at this point. It looked like he was going to pass it, but I don't think he ended up doing it, and he's out for week 18. I don't care. He's still not throwing the ball well enough for me, and I know that the talent is there in Chicago. I don't care. I'd rather trade Justin Fields and still maybe get a first-round pick. You might get a first-round pick. I think it'd be a second because I think people know he hasn't been playing up to a first-round pick. That's what I believe. I think a lot of teams would agree with that. But imagine, let's say you're right, and Fields is that good, and everyone thinks that Fields is that good. Well, we're getting another first-round pick back. So now you get to pick Bryce Young, and you get to get someone else in this first round, a wide receiver perhaps, and I think you're in better position. That's my move. But instead, they can sit here at number 2. They could take Will Anderson, maybe the best player in the draft. They could trade back here. There's going to be teams thirsty for CJ Stroud. There's a lot of possibilities, and I'm not doing trades yet. We will do trades, but I'm not doing trades yet. Number 3, I decided to switch it up this time. Instead of the Seahawks taking CJ Stroud, I have them taking Jalen Carter out of Georgia. Now, I'm still conflicted as to what they're going to do here. Geno Smith now has 29 touchdowns on the season. This week, he's likely to pass 30. And this is not a Jameis Winston 30 touchdown, 30 interception season. This is a 30 touchdown, 10 interception season. How can you justify moving on from that to a lot of the fan base? You can justify it to me because I think it's a good justification. Look, it was a great year, but I'd rather take Stroud. I'd rather go ahead and secure the next decade than run Geno again. That's just me. But maybe Pete Carroll's system really just doesn't need a quarterback, and he could continue to win with Geno and whoever, and it's better to take Jalen Carter here and continue to solidify that defense. I don't know. There's an argument for both, for sure. For sure. Maybe you do both. Maybe you keep Geno and you draft Stroud, and if Stroud struggles, you never have to play him because Geno continues to play well. Then you could trade Stroud. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I like CJ Stroud right now. Cardinals taking edge Myles Murphy out of Clemson. Not really sure who's the third best prospect right now outside of the quarterback position, but right now I felt good with Myles Murphy. Colts get CJ Stroud at number 5. Now, I highly doubt, well, I'm not going to say I highly doubt. Right now, I don't believe he's going to fall this far. The Will Levis love is strong and it's growing, so we're going to see here, but this is a nightmare for me being a Tennessee Titans fan. I don't want to see CJ Stroud in a Colts jersey. Lions take Brian Breezy to bolster the defensive line. Falcons, Joey Porter. Unsure who's the top cornerback right now, but they could use one opposite of A.J. Terrell. So why not Joey Porter? Keely Ringo's been struggling lately, and he certainly did in the college football playoff game. We say he plays in the national title. Will Levis goes to the Raiders, who are now in the quarterback market. Josh McDaniels. Now, I don't know if they're going to wait until the draft to draft their guy. I feel like that McDaniels would prefer a veteran. But, I mean, maybe he wants to just start a rookie. I mean, I've only seen him really with veterans and Tebow. So this will be a new experience for me, but maybe he just wants to start fresh. I mean, he has some years left on that contract. Maybe you should. Panthers take Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. How about the Eagles, number 10? They take running back Bijan Robinson out of Texas. Now, Bijan Robinson to the Eagles. This is something I'm going to mock pretty consistently moving forward because I was struggling putting, Bijan Robinson in my first mock draft. Where is he going to go? Where should I put him? Now I can put him at number 10, going to the Eagles. This is beautiful. And because, first of all, Miles Sanders is an upcoming free agent. He would be a great fit in their scheme. And I know where to finally put him. So I'm just going to keep mocking him here. It's not too high and it's not too low. It's perfect. It's so perfect. This would be a crazy run game with Hurts and Bijan Robinson. If they don't win a Super Bowl this year, they would in the future with that deal, assuming Hurts continues to play at a high level. Tennessee Titans, they take offensive tackle Peter Skoronski. Now, we're going to continue to move around at this, but look, Titans fans, even though I've been Mr. Wide Receiver all season. I've been Mr. Wide Receiver all season. Even in the preseason when people tried to sell you a bill of goods that Robert Woods was going to come in here and do something, I said, nah, son. With Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, come on, bro. So look, I want to mock more wide receivers to the Tennessee Titans, have no doubt about it. But until we know who our left tackle is next year, I got to keep drafting tackles. I have to keep drafting tackles because as of this moment, we don't know who's going to be our left tackle next year. And until that problem is solved, that's our number one need. Because we can't do this Dennis Daly thing again. Ridiculous. We can't do it. Outside of those picks, other significant picks that I wanted to discuss, Quentin Johnston to the Texans. I think they're still going to end up trading Brandon Cooks, so that's why I still have them picking a wide receiver despite winning on John Mechie and Nico Collins being all right. I still think they're in the market for a wide receiver, relatively speaking. I have the Packers taking Michael Mayer. Remember that Robert Tonyan is an upcoming free agent. I think they like their wide receivers now in Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs moving forward, and I don't think they're going to take a third, so I think they might take a tight end instead. Keely Ringo falls all the way down to the Jaguars at 19. That'd be an interesting fit. I have Jordan Addison going to the Buccaneers. Some people might struggle with this, but the main reason I have this is, remember that Mike Evans is a free agent in 2024. I think Brady's going to be out in this offseason. I think they're going to trade Mike Evans. I think they're going to say, you know what can we get from Mike Evans? Because let's just rebuild this thing. Let's go 3-14. Let's get in the market for Caleb Williams. Who wants Mike Evans? Who wants Mike Evans? Who wants Mike Evans? Sold to the man. Well, hopefully wearing a Tennessee Titans, suit. Hopefully. We'll see on that. Jalen Hyatt goes 23 to the Baltimore Ravens. They still need wide receivers, so that's why I have that happening there. Let me move my face. We have Jordan Battle out of Alabama going to the Bengals. Remember, they have upcoming free agents at safety in Jesse Bates and Von Bell. I want to say is their other starting safety, so that made sense to me. The Cowboys get lucky taking Noah Sewell out of Oregon. That'd be a hell of a fit for them. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest of the mock draft is pretty obvious, pretty carbon copy, pretty early for me to make crazy declarations. Now, the one thing that I will say is that I think people are going a little bit overboard with Anthony Richardson in the first round. Guys, look, he completed now, Josh Allen did go in the first round, completing like 56%. Anthony Richardson completed 53% of his passes at Florida. I mean, and he had talent. I cannot see Anthony Richardson going in the first round. That is a hell of a gamble by any general manager. I'm not mocking it for a while. I don't care what I hear. I don't care how many mock drafts I read having it. No. I think that'd be such a desperate play. I don't think anyone is that desperate. I don't think anyone is that desperate. Lamar Jackson went 32nd, and he was a Heisman winner, and his stats were undeniable. And even he went 32nd. I am not drafting Anthony Richardson in the first round this year. I'm not going to do it, but we will see what happens when it comes to that. So that does it for my unofficial 2023 NFL Mock Draft 2.0. I'll probably be back in 2 weeks for an updated mock draft. What are your thoughts on mock draft? Comment down below. I want to know. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.